We live.
Yo.
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast, episode 21. We legal.
We can drink now, y'all.
Yeah, you see all the flood wowzers everywhere. Look at it.
Man, I'm Daniel.
Aisha.
Ooh, I didn't even get you, Aisha. Hold on,
See,
say it again.
You tripping? Why you gotta do me like that this morning?
we updated, so I gotta get used to it again. So Aisha, go ahead. Go ahead, Nate. You go.
I am
Dip lane.
And Tita's in the building, but Tita's MIA. She in the background somewhere. Say hi, Tita.
Hi.
Man, we got a special guest today. I call this man a God MC.
Yo, yeah.
AZ God MC.
Definitely.
Oh man, I appreciate
monster.
it. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Thank you.
You don't want no You don't want no problems with this man. How many times you gotta tell you?
Hey man.
You know what I'm saying?
Puts it down, man.
I appreciate it, man.
One of the members of Writers Guild. I'm gonna keep pumping you up.
Yeah.
One of the members of Writers Guild. Roqy's already in the building.
Yo, what's good? What's good? How y'all doing, man? Oh man, yeah. Yes, bro. Which one is it? Can I press a button? Which one is it?
Press that last one right here. Get your gunshots going.
Man down.
Man.
We appreciate you coming, brother.
Yes,
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Welcome to DanYo&Tita podcast. Man, I'm pumped to interviewing you, man. You've been working.
Trying, man. Trying.
You know what I'm saying?
All the guild is working right now. We're waiting for a penny.
Yeah, where they at?
It's all right. You know, I had to touch down and, kind of
Most def.
put the flag down real quick.
Right.
But yeah. Thank y'all for having
Yes,
me.
sir.
Man, it's nothing, man.
Yeah, I'm an artist too, but I wish my career was like yours.
Right.
Sometimes you don't.
I mean, you did a lot of stuff, man. Let's talk about, I want to get right into it. Your latest project.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Outbreak with DJ Green Lantern.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all. I'm gonna hear all that.
The visual has been amazing.
Oh,
you've been releasing,
dope.
man,
Thank you, man.
And every visual that you've been trying to connect with the project, man. I've been loving. I'm loving everything.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
The Chinese restaurant.
Oh, that's
man.
The first one, Didi and Tikka Masala. Yeah.
Hot shit.
Thank you, man.
Shit, man. I really loved it, and everything you guys are doing, man. It's really need to be. That's why you want you on here, because people need to know what you're doing, man. Because you awesome. I know you've been everywhere, and everybody been getting you on, but we wanted to have you on, definitely.
Oh man, love is love. I gotta be here, man. Y'all always fuck with me, like just on a personal tip. So it's only right that we cross pollinate and shit like that.
Definitely, man. That's what we're here for.
Let's get right into the let's talk about the project actually. The invasion.
Invasion, bro. I remember being a kid and listening to DJ Green Lantern tapes and stuff like that, like in high school, and debating about. Penny said the door's locked.
Penny said.
So debating about just specific records and things like that.
Right.
Just talk about the culture of hip hop,
right?
While Green Lantern shit is spinning in the background, and
just
to have cultivated.
Got a seat over here, man.
Just to have cultivated a project of that magnitude with a legend, it's just. Bruh. Right. And niggas can't take that shit from me, man. It's an honor.
Right.
It's an honor, especially considering bruh's secretly been around the desert for a while, and to be that one MC that you just kind of plucks out the sand and just let's get something in.
I did not know that. He was and dude is a legend. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know he was in the valley like that.
I mean, a lot of those dudes are. It's just it's like a snowbird area, right? Like we can talk about going to the past and talk about how Swiss was heavily involved in salt mine or had CDNC or whatever.
Wow.
You go to a club and see Cassidy chilling or some shit. you know, running into Rampage from Flip Mode out here, and you know, just every artist that's like in his 30s above has like DMX stories and shit like that.
Right.
Penny has like 3. I have a couple. I ran into this dude at the grocery store, you know, like, you know, it's just random things. So a lot of East Coast people have found themselves out here, and it's cool to kind of inadvertently bring a stamp to the area from that aspect, you know, especially being a transplant myself. So
what do you think that draws them artists over here? What do you think it is about Arizona?
I think it's just like the antithesis of the way of life. Like we bring something different. It's like that Wild West mentality, like, you know, so it's the dichotomy of America. You know, you can look at like, you know, the history of like the Southwest and stuff like that. And while it was still developing, everybody was kind of like huddled in like the Eastern seaboards that come out here for like a new way of living. And, you know, came out here and it got hit with some phenomenal artistry, because there's a lot of people with heat out here, no pun intended.
Definitely is, man.
Yeah, we got Pennywise in the business as well. Let's give it some. Hey,
what's up?
You tall with it, so you gotta push the gunshot. You gotta reach over and push the gunshot. This right here. You gotta push it.
Oh yeah. Shit ain't jammed.
You know what I mean? Definitely.
It was good though.
Basically, we got the whole Writers Guild in the build
Almost. Like half.
Is Mega Ran gonna show? We don't know.
Right.
That's always the thing. Like,
right.
Mega Ran.
Mega Ran could be in Arizona, or he could be, who knows where.
We never know,
He could
right?
be in Canada. He could be in Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Hey, he's working definitely.
Dude, stay on the move, man.
Pennywise got a new project too.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Come on, man. Tell me about it.
My new project is called Apex Predator.
I like that name.
It is actually available on all. Give me all that. The bombs, the gunshots, the horns, all that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I got an album called Apex Predator. It's available on all music platforms at this time. And it's doing pretty good. There's actually a bonus track if you get the Bandcamp version. You know what I'm saying? So if you download that, support your indie artists. You know what I'm saying? There is an extra bonus track that features the Writers Guild on it.
Wow.
So go get that. I'm really happy about it. I worked really hard at it.
Right.
I got some great visuals to go with it as well.
Definitely.
So man, I'm just trying to push the culture forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to keep it innovative, trying to keep it all, you know what I'm saying, forward moving, positive and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all definitely set the bar.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Y'all being shy, man. Y'all better stop playing and get these donuts over there, man.
Oh man, I can't mess with those, man. What's this right there?
You gotta wait for that.
That's later.
You gotta wait for that.
That's later on. He a fitness junkie, so you know.
Do y'all got any coffee by any chance or anything?
We got the Starbucks. These joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead, take one.
Yeah, see, we got something. We feed our guests. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need to wake my ass up, yo. Y'all don't usually drink coffee out there, guys, but you know what I'm saying? It's like Saturday. It's 10 in the morning, so you know, that's how we do.
You gotta do what you gotta.
Got everybody all up early this morning.
So what's some of the guests you got on the track list?
As far as guest features, the only features I have is the Writers Guild. Well, besides G1, I got G1 to the rescue on in fact one of the singles that just came out singing, but I got different people producing. The album I came out with last year, Sophisticated Ignorance, was just produced by one producer, Hexagon. This one I got G1 to the rescue on it. I have Jimmy Nelson, I have Arza.
Wow.
I also have Hexagon again.
Right.
Who else is on the album? As far as production, I think that might be all of them. Some of them did multiple beats on there, but yeah, that's who really did all the production on this album. I recorded it all at Deep Root Studio. That's pretty much where I do all my production. I know you're familiar with them as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's where I do. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Ends1. They do all of my engineering work. I know sometimes I'm really very meticulous, so I probably drive them crazy sometimes, but you know, I love them dudes a lot. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm
saying? When I saw your visuals when you came out in the 70s type like fit with the 70 groove, I was like, I knew that was Deep Root Studio. So I was like, that's the studio right there. But
we thought of the idea as we were shooting, actually recording the song. So it was pretty spontaneous and it came out pretty dope.
Man, it's dope as hell, man. I like the groove, man.
Yeah, that's home team right there. We used that was actually where we started the podcast at. Actually,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
most definitely. Shout out to D
out.
Roots. We'll be back. So y'all videos are incredible too. Where the concepts come from with the concept of the videos that y'all come out with? Both of y'all, yeah.
I mean, you have a mic.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, at the end of the day, we're artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we just try to be creative. I mean, it's kind of like Picasso. You know, so you're just trying to paint a picture. So I know, and we all kind of have a similar mind state when it comes to this. We're just trying to be real creative, bring something different.
Right.
Sometimes simplicity is good. You know, it just depends on what the song calls for. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much. I mean, as far as how we put together stuff, that's what I think. Right.
Well, you know, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like a movie nerd at the end of the day, and like, it's my music is an excuse to like just do random shit,
right?
That inspired me.
That's true. Music gives you the ability to do random shit that you just want to do. You know.
You know, like especially like my next one is Rectified, and for that, it's like some whole other like desert, you know, fucking Book of Eli references, and you know, like just stuff like that. But like my own little spin on it.
Right.
You know, like I'm definitely a fan of the cinema. So you know, it's like a second love, if you will.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself going into cinema?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely.
You know, we're gonna establish base camp in music because that's my first love. It's my therapy, and then you know we'll see wherever you know the wind takes us creatively.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we're definitely movie buffs. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can see it in the way you guys put things together, and the way the artists visualize.
Appreciate it, man. Trying to stay
like
true
we're
to
big
the art.
nerds. At the end of the day, we're big nerds.
We're nerds,
we're really big nerds. You know what I'm saying?
We watch Mandalorian and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
we watch Star Wars. we watch. In fact, not to say too much. Me and Mega Ray actually have a project based on a specific anime. I'm not gonna go into too much.
I know what this is.
But
I know what it is.
We
I don't know what it is.
Can't see anything.
We were actually in the studio the other day because we've been working on this project for a while, but now we kind of got a clear vision as to what we're gonna do. And we were in the studio the other day putting it together, and I'm like, yo, it's gonna be crazy.
You know, it's all organic. It's not like, you know, people sometimes they really reach in order to establish a foothold in like a specific subgenre because that may be the wave. Like, nah, we really live and breathe this.
That's
shit.
what it is.
Multifaceted individuals.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
You
I mean,
niggas that get fucked up, and then you know we'll go watch like Dragon Ball Z or some shit. You know, like
because I remember, you know, speaking on that,
shit like that. Exactly how we are. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking on that, because I know, you know, I know y'all really about, you know, your art and what y'all fans of. But I know, like, remember when Lupe came out with that kick push? She got a lot of heat for that because they say he didn't know how to skateboard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything we talk about.
Y'all really,
it is what it is.
It is like, you know, that's because, you know, niggas on that keeping the real shit too much. You know, people are allowed to be expressive. You know, if somebody can only do an ollie or, you know, might just be able to maintain balance, where are you going to knock them for? There was one time where we tried to jump in the cypher and we're all kids and we were garbage. You know, so like all you could do is just admire somebody from, you know, for taking that time to express their creativity, you know, because we're all like, we're not like 22 years old. We come from a generation where like kind of thinking outside the box and doing things that isn't specific to like our cultural background is considered white, you know? Like I was rocking Vans and people like, oh, he's wearing white boy shoes, or like, you know, like weren't watching animes when it was just me and the homies and like, oh, what are you watching this, you know, this silly shit for? You know, like DC. So like, man, it's comfortable ass shoes, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, my feet feel like they're in clouds right now. Like, fuck you for that. Like,
no, I hate that people think that everybody has to be boxed in.
Yeah, nah, man.
You know, culture.
That's not. We
don't have to do all wear Jordans. We don't all have to do the same shit.
Yeah, you're allowed to just be yourself and experiment, man.
In my life,
right.
Man, I wore a pair of Jordans since the last administration can't afford to be pro. You know, it's whatever. I'm like, one of my
favorite videos from you was the one with took over with the Bruce Lee.
That was the Jim Kelly shit. That was Crown Me.
Crown Me, yeah.
That was Crown Me. Jim Kelly was when I just started trying to rap, and then I forgot it.
You got a lot of karate stuff going on, man.
He loves the genre, obviously.
Yeah, man. What was I just watching?
Video of yours is the one that never really got too much shine with the Pulp Fiction.
The hey, this is Tyraid. Ready, set, go, nigga, yippee-ki-yay. Roy Howard Cheese. Right. She's Penny was in it too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we like fake Rob 98.3 and shit when Augie Augie and Cali Cat were there. Yo, this shit was dope.
Yeah, I mean one of your new videos.
Shit's for real.
I forgot what it's called, but when you say IMC for real.
Oh, MC for real. Oh, yeah.
I love that video.
Thank you. Shout out to John. Shout out Colombian John Colombian, one of the most artistically gifted visual artists out there.
I love just the scenery in there.
That man. Huh?
I love how the shots were in that video and everything. I know y'all was in the parking garage. When y'all in there, man, I felt like I was hard. You know what I'm saying? I was out of my head like I'm for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is on fire right.
You know, normally I do a lot of like the scouting and all the creative ideas, but I'd say the majority of that, minus a couple ideas, a couple sprinkles of the pepper box. Like most of those were John, man.
Wow.
So I have to give that up to John. So. Pay that man. All you artists, stop asking for the homie hookup. Like it's totally worth it, as you can see.
You cannot be a broke rapper, unfortunately.
Right.
Man, you better find a way. You notice the motif of my music videos is by any means. We're gonna make this shit happen.
We had the Arizona Hip Hop Festival.
Oh man.
Last weekend.
Yeah.
Man, how was y'all experience with that? How was it?
Penny and I come from a time we didn't have that.
Right.
So to see people really gravitate towards that shit, it's an honor.
Yep.
It's just being parts of the scene. Justice did a lot. He didn't have to really put that on his back.
Right.
That really speaks towards the level of unity that we have. Because y'all remember, man, we when we were getting it going and people were shouting the fake unity shit. And yeah, we just kind of inadvertently did it by just having our own individual pursuits, and we happen to be from the state,
right?
So we all kind of lifted it up, and we inspired another generation to kind of help lift up the banner. And now look at us, several generations deep in the same festival, just making it happen.
Yeah,
that's what this Arizona shit is about.
Yeah,
and like I said, MCs from across the country.
I mean, definitely.
To come to our festival, you know what I mean? So just definitely.
We interviewed some cats. Where was they from?
Kansas,
Jersey,
right?
New York, it was out there.
Detroit, all over, man. People coming all over the nation, man, to come here to come to the festival for one day to get a chance to be to rock the mic, man.
Definitely.
That's the shit, man.
That's definitely. When we gonna get the Writers Guild album? We can get the Writers Guild album.
As far as the album, I mean, we record songs all the time.
Right?
It's really about timing. Really,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know it's tough to get everybody.
There will be you will get some. Here's the thing: you're always gonna get some Writers Guild material.
Yeah.
We're gonna come out with songs or whatever. As far as putting out a specific album, I'm not sure, but you guarantee you're gonna see work from us.
How did
together?
Not to cut you off, but how did all you guys come together, man? I mean, four pretty. Great MCs in the area and deciding to come together and do some shit, man.
We kind of came together like it's been a while now. I want to say around 2011. There used to be a music site out here called Arizona Beats,
right?
And everybody pretty much used to post their music on there. It was a good platform at the time because a lot of people didn't know each other. This was before social media got real big as to where it is now. This is back when Twitter first started coming in the scene. Facebook was a baby at the time. So locally, this was the place where everybody would post their music. So there's a lot of rappers, obviously, but we were big fans of each other's music. We performed at a lot of shows. And even though we make different type of music, the similarity of the flow technician was in there. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what drew us together. And that's just how, I mean, it was pretty organic.
Wow.
We started doing shows together.
Came together.
Yeah, we started doing shows together, songs together. And then Rock Knowledge, who at the time was a radio personality, he was like, man, you guys should be called the Writers Guild. And then I'm going to be with y'all too as well. So we was like, fuck it. So that's how we came about. But yeah, it's me, Roqy, Tyraid, Mega Ran, who should be here in a few minutes. He just texted me. And then
that's dope.
Rock Knowledge. I don't know if you guys know DN3. You know DN3, DJ DN3?
I know.
Yeah, these are all original members of the Writers Guild.
Wow.
So, we did a lot of shows together. We performed at South by Southwest. We did stuff out in Vegas. And then since, we all came out with solo projects and stuff, but, it's always been a collective of MCs.
Right.
So we'll come together, we'll drop a record on y'all, do a show. You know what I'm saying? We performed at the Hip Hop Fest, in fact, twice. And In fact, the hip hop fest was great. I thought it was fantastic. I was working a little bit of it the first day on stage A, so I was there early. The one thing I noticed that was really dope, by like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it was already packed.
Right.
Yeah.
It was already like jam packed,
Yeah.
and I was up on stage like looking at the crowd, and I'm like, man, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah.
And the way they had it set up, it was like a square. So instead of it, you have not being able to see, you could see all the stages, or see all the stages going around, except for the inside one. So I thought the setup was way better.
It
You know what I'm saying?
It was. I like it like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You could, it was more compact, like you said.
Yeah.
And everybody
More
was,
cohesive too.
Yeah.
I noticed like
the flow was.
the flow was great, especially when I was managing stage A, because I could see like it was just back to back. There was no issues or nothing. It was great.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you know, it definitely could run into a lot of people. It's better networking wise and everything. So
Yeah,
man.
definitely like that.
I don't think it should be anywhere else. That's where it should be at from now on. I mean, I liked last year with the clubs and all that stuff, but it seemed like every club, it was their own festival, in a sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas this year, it was just all one big event.
Right.
So
I would say last year's was probably comparable to like a South by Southwest, where this one has more of like a Rolling Loud, or like a paid dues, or Rock the Bells type of feeling, where everything is like boom right there. A couple stages, right alongside each other. But I like last year's. Last year's was crazy. This is something special.
Right.
Do y'all think
last year I found more places to hide and smoke weed.
You can still smell it throughout the festival.
Right. Somebody was doing some shit.
A lot of places last
Man, that's funny.
do y'all think that AZ hip hop is becoming almost like a mecca for hip hop?
Absolutely. There's a lot of
New York
talent.
is?
Yeah. We're like the next one's up.
Yeah.
And, we're not really constrained or confined to like a specific creative expectation. We kind of formulated after, social media and the internet age had already taken shape and pulled the world into your, the space of your phone.
One thing that we're starting to finally understand,
Right,
is the people who are actually working. We're all starting to unite with each other. You know what I'm saying? If you notice at the fest, we all fuck with each other.
Yeah.
It used to not be like that at one time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still
You couldn't go nowhere without a fight or something.
Yeah, it used to always be beef. Yeah. And now everybody who's really working, who's really out here, really out here touching people in these streets, everybody works with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like I can call any one of these guys, hey, let's do a record together. Boom, we got a record. You know what I'm saying? It used to not be like that. And I like the way it's going. And it is here's the thing too. Everybody in that realm all sounds different. We all have our own sound, our own flow, whatever, and it's beautiful. There's not no specific, okay, this is an Arizona artist, that's what you're supposed to sound like. You know what I'm saying? So like,
do you think that is needed though for Arizona to have a sound?
Hell no. Hell fucking no. No.
Yeah.
We're already in the Southwest. We're like, people. It's just like saying is Portland part of the fucking West Coast? Of course, it's literally on the fucking West Coast.
Yeah.
Like we are part of the West Coast. Like we have a similar vernacular, our accents the same, certain customs. We all come from a similar background. We have cousins from different parts of the Southwest. That's already established.
Right.
Now, again, we're influenced by different sounds and different, genres and things of that nature, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I grew up. I'm the youngest of my group. What up, Rand? And I grew up, like, even though I'm from the West Coast, like when I was on Marlon and Chief's show, we were talking about like some of our favorite MCs. I started naming a bunch of people who aren't even from the West Coast. I'm a Viacom kid.
Right.
I grew up on West Side Connection and fucking Tribe Called Quest.
Right.
So that's even more developed nowadays, because you have people who may listen to DMX and then Triple X. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just comes out in our music.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Penny was saying, you have somebody over here, it may be about that drip shit.
Right.
This person may be about that lyricism. This motherfucker over here might be have some sounds that resonates within like the street community, and like this nigga over here is like banging. So you have that culture, and like all that together, the amalgamation of that is fucking Arizona.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right.
We are a multi-talented, multifaceted, Yeah.
Right.
There we go.
Man, hip hop's been
We're like Cell from Dragon Ball Z. Here's another one.
Yeah, hip hop is going, 1970?
79, 77, something like
come on,
that.
it's going to happen one day. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Where everybody just got similar styles, but yeah, we're like a melting pot, man.
Definitely.
And you know, everybody in Arizona
is from somewhere
else.
Right. So definitely.
We got Mega Ran in the building, y'all.
Hey, Mega Ran. Yo, welcome to the show.
I got to fire myself.
You got it.
All right. Okay, here we go.
It's a hot point.
I'd have been dead in that one.
This is special right here. We got everybody here. Riders Guild in the building. How's it going, sir?
Man, it's going amazing.
No, it's definitely.
I'm blessed. I'm glad I came in on the end of that conversation because, like, being able to hear about the melting pot in Arizona is it's really dope. You know, I think that's what the Arizona sound kind of is. Like people are always like, oh, Arizona doesn't have a sound. I think the sound is the freedom to create what you want to create.
Yeah, most definitely.
And a lot of cities don't have that, man. I come from Philly, and if you didn't sound like Beanie Siegel coming up, you know,
they don't want to listen to it.
Ain't nobody trying to hear it, you know? So
that shit was an offense. Like, you know, growing up like in late 90s and early 2000s and shit, like, oh, you listen to this, or you trying to rap like this, or you know, like it was like a cultural offense. Like, nigga, this is West Coast. Like, you know, like, damn, bro. Like,
you know, with me when I make my music, a lot of people think I'm from New York.
Yeah,
I'm from Seattle, Washington. I'm from the Northwest.
Oh shit, I have a lot of family in Tacoma and shit, bro.
It's it's the influence. Like you said, you listen to Tribe Called Quest. Jay-Z, Tribe Called Quest. But I listen to Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
I listen to Jay-Z and J.O., man.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
it just happens like that.
But you were definitely influenced by East Coast music, though.
I think it was more the heavier one was probably East Coast music. Yeah, it was.
Because it's just fucking music, man. You can apply it to your life. You know,
definitely. Man, we got everybody. I'm excited, man. I don't know. You know, I know we're doing the interview and everything, but I'm more like, I love this right here.
Right,
you know, it's like me and Wu-Tang or something.
Right. Oh, wow. The Phoenix Wu-Tang.
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
man. I appreciate that.
Dang.
Yeah, man. Y'all do a lot for the city, man, and you boys, I think, represent Phoenix everywhere you guys go. I know you around the world, and people make sure I make sure that I check you guys out and let everybody know who you guys are, because what you guys do for the city and how y'all put on for the city and everything. Everywhere I go, I make sure people know who you guys are for real, because this is when they ask me who are the MCs that represent Phoenix, I make sure I say you guys, because you have a big following and you guys are always consistent with your music and your visuals. And I definitely am a big fan. So I wanted to make sure.
And I'm glad you said Phoenix too, because I mean we're none of us are originally from Phoenix. We're all transplants, but when it comes to this hip hop shit, man, I'm a Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? I put it on my back, you know what I'm saying? I'm from New York City, but I've been in Phoenix for a long time. I done had a kid here and he's grown now. So Phoenix is my city, you know what I'm saying? And anywhere I go, I represent that, you know what I'm saying? In my music, I'm not hollering, oh, this is New, even though I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this hip hop shit, you know, I'm straight out of Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm a transplant. I should come out with like somebody needs to make a song like that. Don't nobody steal my idea out there in the internet, you know what I'm saying? Talking about some transplant shit in Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, that's how we are, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure most of us in this room, you know what I'm saying? Everybody. He's like, I'm from Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? So
see that?
But at the end of the day, this is our home now. You know what I'm saying? There's a phrase.
Nobody. This nobody's from Arizona here.
No,
it ain't where you from, it's where you at and how you get down where you at.
You know what I mean? This entire room is from different places. It's gotta be like the land of opportunity or some shit, man. Like,
it's like the gold rush.
That's crazy.
And I think that's great. I think that's great for the culture, because you have everybody bringing their bits and pieces from where they came from to make this whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I can tell you right now, even though none of us are from Phoenix, we've influenced this scene out here in different ways. So it's like, and it's love, and I love Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? I love Arizona. I love this. I don't even want to live nowhere else, to be honest. I mean, I want to go other plaplaces, but the cost of living out here, bro, is so beautiful.
I just came home from St. Louis, and dog.
Oh, St. Louis, the hood.
Oh, from St. Louis.
That's just the hood.
And when I flew in, I'm like, dog, smiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I'm home. I used to call that the crib.
Exactly.
I call now I'm like this. I'm at the crib.
This
is the crib.
Bro, I'm from the Bronx, man. And when I go home, I'm good for like a week, but then I'm like, I gotta
I'm
come.
ready to go, man.
I'm tired of these buildings. I'm tired of this smell. I'm tired of the way y'all talk. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good.
When I took my trip back to Seattle a couple years ago, man, I was like, I said, baby, let's go back, man. I don't know. Let's go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Home is where the heart is, man. It's where you feel comfortable.
Where the PlayStation
where
is
you
at.
built your
My PlayStation's on 44th Street in Camelback. That's where my home is
where
at.
you built.
Definitely.
Yeah, where you built comfort. That's where home is, man.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man.
Roqy Tyraid, man. I need answers from you, man. I need to know how you master that freestyle game, man. I didn't see you.
Just a lot of practice.
I didn't see you burn too many mics.
Man.
Thank you.
98.3 mics.
Oh man,
Sway mics.
that was the best one too.
New York mics.
Yeah, that nigga
Cali
went on there
mics.
and tried to say everyone else is better, but like, nah, you know, you sure said stay humble. He used to try to stay humble, but that's some fucking
I
lies.
was the first one that said it's over. Got it messed up.
No, man. Let me bring it back to the humble. I appreciate it, man. It's just, you know, like I say, like artists are just glorified fans, you know.
Yeah.
Like we all started trying to mimic our favorite artists, and we all were told you should just do it yourself.
Yeah.
And we all did it, and it sucked, and then we perfected it, and now, you know, people appreciate the way that we artistically express ourselves, man.
Yeah.
So,
You know what's dope about you guys also is that you don't have egos.
No.
You know, it doesn't matter which one of you guys go here or go there. You still come together as a group and help each other out. It doesn't matter which direction which person is heading.
yeah,
And
you always have something to learn from each other, man. That's friendship.
I've been in a couple groups, and dog, you know what I'm saying? I know how to dog. It's tough.
I think a little ego is good, but I think you got to channel it in the right direction.
Right.
I think you
it's just self-worth. It's not even ego. It's just self-worth. You know, it's just like I know that I am worth something as an individual and as an artist, and just don't disrespect it. We're cool. I'm not gonna like slam my nuts on the table everywhere because that's bullshit, you know. But we're, you know, we all know our capabilities, man.
Right.
So
I think, like channeling it into like when we're in the booth together, right? When it's like, all right, I know that Roqy gonna come with something crazy,
right?
So you know, it'll influence the writing in that way.
I think it's respect too. Like I know, like if you respect somebody, it's like I'm not gonna act out of myself because I respect my brothers. You know what I'm saying? So like it keeps you in check. Also, like artistically too, I really respect these guys artistically. So like I feel like I always have to be on my A game. So it brings out the best in you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that if you don't surround yourself with those type of people, man, you're probably gonna set yourself up for failure or cut yourself short. You know what I'm saying? So my circle's very small, but everybody in my circle is a beast. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing with my album, Apex Predator. That's the mind state. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to keep people around you that keep you on your A game, and also people that keep you responsible as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I know these guys are very responsible, so it's a good influence on me. Because sometimes I can go a little left. You know what I'm saying? But I know how I get. You know what I'm saying? But they kind of keep me grounded a little bit. Like, yo, Penny, you out. You need to chill. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good shit.
No, that's dope, man. That's dope, man.
I saw a Nas interview a while back when he was like, it's like he was going through his phase where he was like yelling at everybody. Or he was yelling at everybody, but he said something dope. He was just like, yo, he's like, save the ego for the records. Man. He's like, outside of that, like human interactions, there's no room for that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we don't want to hear it or see it, you know. But on the records, hey, if you think you're the best, then flex, you know. But I think that's where people get it mixed up. Like, you know, I don't need it in a human interaction, one-on-one. We should all be humble and happy to meet each other.
I just saw a picture before this started, and it was some turn of the century stock market crash picture of this dude selling like some fancy car. It was like 1930 or something like that. And he had like a placard on it that says $100, must pay in cash, lost everything during the Great Depression.
Wow.
You can lose all of that ego in like that quick. So it's cool to just lead as a human being, you know, because the universe will check you. And it might do it on a public stage. You don't want that, man.
No, you definitely right about that, man.
So,
I agree with you with that. That's real. Life will teach you in an instant.
For sure.
Fast.
Man, I know you got a lot going on, boss man. You got projects and projects on top of projects and projects.
Indeed.
I'm surprised you in town.
I tell that's funny. I tell every
or some shit.
I tell myself every year, like, oh, I'm gonna slow down this year. This is gonna be the year I chill out a little bit. But then like inspiration just keeps hitting me, you know, and I think that that's a blessing. So I feel like the universe is telling me that to create more. So that's
Right.
that's
like, I need to do this and this. And he's at the point where he's like, I need to slow down.
Right. Like, I need to do less. You know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, it's almost always trying to figure out a balance. Like you said, I'm always out on the road, you know, but I like to be here. I would like to build something in the city and be around to watch it grow and stuff like that. So I have these ideas for that. And hopefully in the next year, I want to do that. But just put out an EP. We're going on tour next week. These fellas are on the EP, of course.
Ages.
And yeah, man, it's always fun getting together with them and to be able to be creative together. So I wanted to make sure that they were represented on there.
Man, I want to say, man, your swag game, dog, is it's insane, my dude. Like, it's just crazy. Like the shit you be coming up with, man. I'll be like, man, damn. I did not think of some shit like that.
I be seeing stuff, and I think the thing with that is, people always told me coming up, like, yo, listen to more than hip hop. Like,
oh my God,
like you can learn stuff from other people. And like, I used to be a teacher, so we always were taught the best teachers are the people who can acquire the most knowledge from different places. We call it stealing. You'd be like, yo, if you see that teacher really figuring out a way to get their kids to listen, find a way to use that in your scenario. So that's with me. Like when I go to shows in every single genre of music. I'm watching pop acts. I'm like, oh, they got cell phone cases. That's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? Or, you know, I go to one show and my homegirl Lex had eyeglass like cleaners with her name on them, and I was like, yo, that's brilliant. So I'm getting all these great merch ideas from just watching different people do it at like the highest level or even just starting out. And you know, it's just what can I apply? You know, like, okay, I haven't done that, but I can tailor something to my audience. Like, okay, I know that we like video games. Like, how can I find a way to mix the video game culture with the hip hop culture in a way that hasn't been done? So that's really what it is. It's just every day I'm like, I wake up with a idea of trying to do something that in a way that hasn't been done. Right. That's all. Because, you know, they say it's nothing new under the sun.
And in the 21st century, you know, that's what you have to have. I mean, on top of being an excellent, great MC, you have to have excellent, great marketing ideas, and
you gotta have ideas.
It is a business at the end of the day.
That's true. Like
and
at this point,
you do that beautifully.
Thank you, man. Like I feel like even like artist development is kind of dead at this point, you know, where it's over, where there's no time for it. You just got to figure it out yourself a lot of times. And so that's really what it is. Just constantly thinking and attempting new things. And, you know, they don't always work. I fail a lot. You know what I mean? Like I remember that Michael Jordan quote, like, oh, I missed 1,000,000 shots and blah, blah, blah. You know, but you got to take those shots.
Definitely.
You know, and that's real. Like, so I don't dwell on those failures because I'm like, yo, I got this next idea and this is going to be the one, you know? And
definitely.
I think a lot of people, because I've even failed at this before too, man. You do anything that you put out, any kind of marketing or any project, you're always like, okay, this is the one, but you got to think about it. Like Nipsey said, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So everything, you got to kind of have like a short-term memory. You put this out. I'm at the point now where I don't even really care about the views and likes anymore. I'm just putting out content.
I said
content. You know what I'm saying? Before I used to get caught up in that, but like, I need to get more I need to get that. I need to put out more content. You know what I'm saying? And come out with more ideas, because eventually, at some point, something's really going to stick. You know what I'm saying? And I have that entire back. Yeah. And what I'm upset about is that I caught that mentality, I think, late. You know what I'm saying? Because like within the last year, I've been putting out a lot more content. I shouldn't have done that before, but I mean, you just learn on your own time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing, man. Just keep on putting out content, man. I don't even care what people think. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you like it. Yeah, because that's where I came from. I just was reading a book and they were saying like, fall in love with the process. Right. Yeah. And this is something that anybody in any line of work can relate to. It's not worrying about what somebody else is going to think about it, how many things it's going to sell, how many downloads, how many people going to pick up your painting. Do you like it? Do you love the process of creating it? Now that'll make you, you know, energized to want to keep creating more. But if you're looking at the number and the response to it, it can really get you down. So
it can
fall in love with the process. I got that written down in my office, like where it's like I have to remind myself of that all the time. Like, do you like it? All right, then it's a success. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed making it and you want to make more, then it's a success.
That's a gem right there. If anybody out there listening, that is a gem and a jewel. And that's not just with the music. That's with anything you're putting your mind to in life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a jewel.
And that's definitely tough because I myself, I was a average MC. You know what I'm saying? And
don't call yourself average.
What the fuck? Yeah, don't do that.
Nah.
Not that humble, bro.
Hey, this
You're still a rapper.
I don't rap at all.
I'm fucking with you.
I don't rap at all. But
he knew. He lying.
Yeah, I know you be spitting in the shower. You got the bars.
But you know how I just how I am. I'm just talking shit. But anyway, I just thought that it was tough to keep going, man, because I felt no one was really paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's why one of the reasons why I was like, I just quit. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't feel like keeping going was more than my love for what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I definitely give it to y'all for doing that, because
thank you.
I hung it up. I was like, man, I quit.
It's a crazy relationship.
I'm getting like I can talk shit online about somebody and get 50 likes. Post my music and get 3.
That's why you need to like talk shit and get it up to 100 comments and then drop the music in the
drop the link in the comments.
So like, how they do on Twitter? Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm also I'm a veterinarian. Here's some YouTubes of me taking care of kittens. They'll say the most controversial shit on Twitter and then like put their real profession underneath. Like, you sneaky fuck.
That's funny. I just wrote a song about that, about trying to chase the algorithm and all these different things. Man. And it's like, man, I post my wedding picture, 100 likes, new album dropping, a couple likes. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just what it is. Like, and you just gotta accept that. But again, it's about falling in love with the process. Like, I
look
love
at the Griselda method,
recording. Man. I love putting it out. I love seeing people's reactions, whether good or bad. Right. And then I love doing it all over again. So if you love it, you gotta do it.
Just do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's one thing I learned, because we all come from a different generation of like hip hop or like the industry and watching how it developed. And when we got our foot in the door, it changed again. And we try to adapt to that, then it changed again. Yeah. So, like, look at what Griselda is doing. Like, they're just inundating like the culture with music. They're like, oh, you like this shit? Well, check this out. We have a new EP. And then while they're rapping, and then Benny the Butchers talk about, look out for that Tana Talk 4. And it's like, God damn, you just dropped 3.
Right. Literally every month, back to back.
It's crazy. Like, just the method is just to carpet bomb the fuck out of people, because content is king, and you just have to have that endurance. And like y'all are saying, just trust the process.
So another question for y'all: so artists at this point, 2019, going to be 2020, should they be chasing deals?
You shouldn't. No, you should. Oh no, they're gonna find you. I feel like a lot of interesting things are happening in the background. But one thing I had noticed is, like, when I stopped actively caring is when they started actively caring. Right. I started putting out music. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this mixtape. I'm gonna drop a bunch of visuals. I'm gonna get on as many interviews as I can, just because fuck it. I'm not 22. And, that's when things started, materializing in the background. Right. And, I would really advise people to find their own way to get their music out, because there's so many artists out there that if you're looking for a specific way to just land a deal, you're probably not going to get what you're looking for. Right. I've been turning down deals here and there off and on over the years since I was about 20 years old. Wow. And they're all shit that I really didn't want. Right. So if I chased that, I would have ended up, just some tax write-off, and then, I wouldn't be doing this.
Right.
So
is radio important?
Absolutely.
2019.
Is it a platform?
It's
a platform.
Is it as important?
As important? Everything is important for the artist, because what may not work for this artist will definitely work for this other person, and will kind of work for this individual. I say any way of getting your music out there is a bullet that you need in your clip, man.
What do you boys think about the disconnect between the local radio and the local artists?
I don't necessarily think it's a disconnect. I just think that people need to understand that shit's a whole different type of business, and they look at things from a different perspective. This isn't LA or New York or something where there was already this. New York put music on the radio, and correct me if I'm wrong, like they put it on the radio because there's already a scene.
Right.
LA put music because there's already a scene. The Bay, because there's already a scene. Like, those stations that they're throwing arrows at had existed before there was really a scene that you could look out the window and be like, oh, look, that's Phoenix. Like from an esoteric standpoint, we knew because we were part of it.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that this is just a different mode of business. And if you navigate the channels properly, yeah, it would be great if they went out and just invested and did what they're supposed to do because there is a scene.
Right.
But, you know, it's really not great to just burn bridges. The diplomatic approach is the best way. You know, you can attract more people with honey than with oil.
You saw, you know, the drama that was going on this week.
Yeah, it's really.
Wait, what's the drama?
My name is Paul, and all I have to say is
that's between y'all.
Yeah, diplomacy wins, bro. I promise you.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing about radio too out here, people have to understand it's like New York and LA. The hip hop scene and community existed before their radio, whereas here our hip hop radio stations existed before our scene really got popping. You know what I'm saying? And so that makes the radio out here a company, it's a company,
right? And
it's a platform.
Definitely.
So if you think about it like that, you can't really be mad at the radio. You know what I'm saying? I have no beef with. I was just on the radio the other day. Like I don't understand why people got such a beef with it. It's a platform. You know what I'm saying? If the worst thing you can do as a musician is burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you burn too many bridges, you may only have one bridge left to cross, and what if that bridge ain't working?
Right.
Then what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Now you might have to swim.
Right.
You might drown. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't. The radio out here, you have to understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a company. You know what I'm saying? It's a corporation. They hire employees. None of them people necessarily represent the culture per se, but you have to understand that you can use it for your own benefit as a musician. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at it as something, or you need to represent the culture. I don't even look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just a platform where they can play my music and they can give me time on the radio to say whatever I need to say.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, hold on, because bro, we came from a much smaller scene. Understand you. Like I was on like Yaya's shit, like just like kicking freestyles and rapping with people. And I remember one time my car, it took a shit on me and I had to go to LA. This is years ago. And so I took the Greyhound. And before I got on the bus, I was walking towards it, and for some reason I'd stopped. This dude walked up to me on my cousin's Space's grave. Like this dude walked up to me, and then he asked if I was Roqy Tyraid. He said he had been listening to me when he was locked up.
Wow.
It's the radio, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like you can't ever knock a platform. Like that is there as it's a service to the people, company or not. So if you go and war against this company, if you go and war against this company, it's only serving to be a detriment to yourself and people who may need to be inspired in those moments. Definitely. You never know who's listening. A lot of those younger artists that came up right after us say, hey, we heard you on Friday Night Flavors. We heard you on the Pulse. You know, we heard you on Ready Set Radio. You inspired us. And then like there are a lot of the Titans, you know, there are a lot of Titans in the scene right now who can say that. So you know, like it's a very important tool. You just got to use it appropriately, man.
I definitely didn't like how some of the people went about trying to check the person or the lady that was doing
I think
not.
Yo, she's a 22-year-old little girl. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I just didn't think it was.
And a woman at that, like I feel like it's just not cool.
Like, who raised you?
Like, it's not cool.
Coming to find out, the whole situation was a misunderstanding. And the person that she was talking about said, "Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with what you said." So,
wow,
there it is.
Stuff.
Wow,
it should have been done right there.
Right.
The drama starts.
It's terrible that it could, you know, when things start moving for us, like right after the hip hop festival.
Yeah, right after the hip hop festival.
Literally the next day.
When everybody had all this unity, it's like, dude,
people decide to point at the one thing, like, "Hey, well, you ain't even supporting."
Right.
So where was you? What's going on with you? Like, just enjoy, I think, the victories we do have and build on those for future victories.
Definitely.
And outside of that, man, if they don't play your music, man, Tech Nine doesn't get radio play and he's fine.
Exactly.
So stay the course, man. And you be all right. I'm sure Tech ain't sitting at home like, man, you don't play me.
Like, and a lot of people understand what gets played on primetime radio. Most of it does not have anything to do with the DJ or the person that is there. That's what people understand. It. Like, it has nothing to do with them.
Say that one more time.
The people on the radio during prime time have nothing to do with the music that's being played on there. Yeah. They are just employees playing what they're being told. It's not like how it used to be at this corporations. You know what I'm saying?
And be lucky you have a fucking specialty slot to have your music played on in the first place. There are a lot of scenes that can't don't have that. You have to rely on the AM radio at the local university in order to get your music out in certain areas. Like I'll be damned if we like take one of the platforms that's been around for a while and trash the shit out of it. No, man. Shout out to all the radio stations, whether on the internet or terrestrial or podcast, to take the time to play our music, man.
Definitely, man.
It's one of the ways that we keep this engine oiled, and the scene would definitely be hampered without it.
So. You heard a phrase that you treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO.
Right.
Like I don't give a damn what station is. If they play my music, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be you could be in the middle of the day, 4 p.m. in the biggest station playing my shit, or you could be the smallest station at 2 a.m. If you playing my shit, I got love for you, man, and it means a lot to me.
That's
you know what I'm saying? It means a lot.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? So
definitely. We're gonna get in some segments with y'all real quick, because we don't want y'all here for
It's all good, man.
But I guess I get man, I ain't gonna lie.
Man, right.
I didn't interview y'all multiple times, over at Lyricist Lounge.
Yeah, shout out to Lyricist Lounge, man.
Shout out to the Lyricist Lounge.
Shout out to Lyricist Lounge.
Right, shout out.
But I get starstruck.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
Man, we ain't nobody.
We appreciate it.
I don't care what y'all say.
Thank you, thank you,
That's
man.
somebody in the
Hey, we
meeting.
family.
You know what I'm saying? So look at that. Look at that out here, man. That's what it is.
Oh, that's the big
Niggas drinking Budweisers at 10 a.m. Put that on camera, please. How I know is this type of event? I would have brought some fucking mimosas or some shit, bro. Like,
I don't drink.
rise and shine, motherfucker. Like,
I don't drink, but
Nate.
I promised Nate I was gonna drink. So,
Nate is the bad influence.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Right.
No, really?
I didn't even get that real treatment, man.
Let's do this real quick. Let's do a top 5 from y'all.
Oh my God,
Lord.
this is about to.
Individually.
This is gonna in a good way. This
all right,
sucks.
top 5 what?
We're gonna do so
Because it could be like top 5 like vacuum cleaner companies.
That's easier than musicians.
Shark.
Dyson.
He said
Dyson,
shark. Who said
Dyson,
shark?
Dyson.
This nigga said shark. Red devil. Hey, you know your auntie had a red devil, man.
For Christmas,
Hell yeah.
I need a Roomba in my life.
My nan had a red devil, man. That shit
Red
sucks.
Devils is they kind of whack.
Yeah, they had on the commercial. They're like sucking up M&Ms. Like this nigga, that's how it broke.
Terrible.
Tails and whatnot.
They would be in my bottom 5.
Let's do,
Okay, so top 5.
Let's do what I want to do with you, Megan, man. Let me see. Top 5 video games from 2010 till now.
What?
That's good.
2010 to now.
That's a long time, bro.
Yeah, that is.
Let's do like the past.
That's actually good. If you say all time, I'll be like,
that's true. I mean, I'll be here for like 10 minutes.
Now I have to
bro.
think like what came out in the last 10 years. Okay, The Last of Us.
Yeah, that was dope.
Was great.
Yeah.
You're a hype beast for that.
What?
I'm playing.
GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gosh. Zelda Breath of the Wild for Switch.
That was fire.
It's fire. hey, it's my list. This is 2010 to now. This is the last 10 years. Dang, this is hard.
Right. This is a difficult one.
I'm trying to think like is every system represented? It was one
Man,
Xbox.
man,
Xbox.
fuck Xbox, bro. I mean, unless you guys want to pay, I'm
God of War.
totally
God of War?
God of War.
That's my
totally joking.
The
You
new
want to
one.
pay?
The new one, yeah. They got that
New
one
one's
was
crazy.
It's a dope franchise.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. Thank you.
Roqy Tyraid. Let me see what I got for you, man. Top 5.
Freestyle artist.
No. No, don't do that. Throw me a curveball. Actually, don't.
You know, I actually personally, this is personal for me. I call one of your top 5 animes.
You had my attention, or you had my interest, and now you have my attention. Damn. I'm gonna start with the first. Being a rapper, Dragon Ball Z, the whole Dragon Ball minus, people shit on GT, but whatever. But like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, like the whole series,
particularly
particularly
whole universe.
Particularly the Cell Saga. We're gonna do that.
Longest saga ever.
I say the freezer. Yo, that shit was like 400 episodes, bro. Like these niggas started like they were in space for like 100, and then
that shit was so.
Bro, I was like
shit over yet?
from like the 5th grade to the 7th grade, and like niggas is still fighting. Like
on the real, it was like 5 episodes with like 30 minutes, dog. Like,
and then they'll start
for real. 5 episodes represented like 30 minutes. I was like, dog, it was like 10 minutes for like
and then
episodes.
like they'll like do the little vanishing thing. They'll like sock someone in the mouth. It's like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Well, I was only using 15% of my power. Then the narrator's like, is he only using 15% of his power? Stay tuned for upcoming episodes of Dragon Ball. Nigga, it was 20 minutes of talking.
I was like, what?
Next week on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they just like condense Kai.
Like 2 miles.
Kai was a heaven sent.
How the fuck were they fighting in the middle of the air? You ever been on an airplane and just like look down at the, it's like that's like a mile down, bro. How are you fighting all the way over there? Like I'm just going home. Let me. Okay, so more hype beast shit. Akira's dope.
Akira, okay.
Yeah,
I'm going left ball. Pat Labor 1 and 2.
Wow.
It's a movie about the militarization of like Japan. Speaking of like things that deal with political science, Gundam Wing.
Gundam Wing's dope.
And let me G-Force. G-Force. Y'all call it Gacha Man. I'm a 90s kid, so we call it G-Force.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Was
that 4 or 5?
That was 5.
That was
That's
5.
fine.
Okay, cool.
Afro Samurai?
We can do Afro Samurai, but like these are the ones that like that Afro Samurai was dope. I'm talking about like the ones that just made me like okay, there we go. All right.
Okay. Now we got
I'm just see what they're gonna give me for top 5.
Pennywise. Let me see, man. Top 5. You
What
styling on? I like that watch.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Top 5.
Top 5 bodegas.
Beef and broccolis. The butter wheats.
Top 5 bodegas.
The one on 167th and Broadway. That one.
Top 5 Mafungo.
Oh shit! I could name them too. That's the funny thing.
What's that? Let me see. I want your top 5 '90s urban fashion brands.
Urban fashion brands in the 90s.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna start off with Cross Colors.
Cuss crawlers.
Okay.
Definitely.
Carl Kanai, number
Okay.
2. Let's see. Pele, number 3.
I like Belly.
This is wonderfully nostalgic.
And I know a lot of them. I'm just trying to see what the top. Let me think. Top. Oh,
2 more.
man.
I know what my top.
All right. So Cross Colors, Pele, Carl Kanai.
Kanai?
Yeah, Carl Kanai. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
Carl
that-
Kanai.
no, his shit was fire, man.
I'm just thinking of things. That
for the
means.
broke niggas.
Let me see. To be honest, Tommy Hilfiger in the 90s.
Mhm.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
no, they
And you know what? But hold on. Do you count that as urban wear though? Even though
Tommy?
Shit,
What's
we-
up?
I mean,
We
we
took-
wore
we
it.
we wore it, bro. We wore it.
We definitely wore it.
I'm not gonna count that.
We wore it. Okay,
I'm
so we're
not
not
gonna
gonna.
count
Okay,
that.
so we're gonna just say street urban shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
For us, by us.
Yeah,
Fubu.
definitely.
I was
Fubu.
waiting for you to say that.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna say lugs for the straight for the no.
I was waiting for you.
Let me think.
I was waiting for you to say Fubu, man.
Fubu, and then I'm gonna
That's fine,
probably
right?
no. I got one more.
Oh.
I'm gonna probably say let's see, Mecca.
Yeah.
Mecca. So
I'm
Mecca.
gonna give you a hand clap. for that
Yeah.
one.
Mecca, Fubu, Pele, Carl Kanai, and Cross Colors.
Yeah.
That's I can wear all those clothes now and
Y'all
still
think
be fly.
it's gonna be a comeback of the urban clothing?
Yes.
Yes,
I would
I
love
do.
this. I would love to see
Everything
that.
comes back, bro. Look what I'm wearing. I'm already wearing
Right,
time. Everybody's
right.
wearing
Bell
time
bottoms are
now.
already coming back for women,
Champions
so-
coming back.
Champions coming
Yeah.
back.
Champions coming back.
Yeah.
I could see Fubu coming back.
Right.
Yeah.
Fubu actually is back. back. They doing some things.
Yeah, they are trying to do some
they're
things.
back.
Yeah, they are.
If LL ain't involved, I
gotta see what all you young motherfuckers, please take the time to YouTube LL Cool J FUBU. Yo,
he pulled the biggest finesse of all time.
He went on
a Gap check and shouted out FUBU.
Yeah, so he was doing the Gap commercial and shit, and he starts rapping, and he was wearing a FUBU hat, and he was rapping for us.
Come on, man, that was classic.
I would wear that.
That's like the greatest corporate finesse of all time.
Yo,
we're gonna
ever.
We're gonna play a game with y'all, a trivia game with y'all. Ice, can they not do no lifeline because they all here?
Yeah, they are here.
They all here, so they can't use a lifeline.
They're each other's lifeline.
So we're gonna play a trivia game.
So either of three of you, whoever knows the answer, can give the answer. Got 5 questions. Best 3 out of 5. If you answer 3 correctly out of the 5, we'll donate $50 to your charity of choice.
What?
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Question number 1. What record label did Hobson sign with before he created Funk Volume with Dame Ritter?
That's on.
Ruthless Records.
That's it.
That is it.
Yeah, he did Eazy-E's wife. He did a whole diss track about Eazy-E's wife.
Yeah,
how she screwed him out of his career.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yo, what happened to Lil Easy? What happened?
I don't know.
He disappeared, man. After the NWA, he got to get on that
Yeah.
NWA movie. He just disappeared.
Yeah, Young Easy was. I don't know. All right.
Lil Easy. Yeah.
Question 2. Who is this legendary Memphis rap group that won an Academy Award for Best Original Song in 2006?
Hey.
666 Mafia.
There you go.
There you go.
We giving them easy ones. Y'all.
That was the most Nick-tastic moment of the mid-2000s.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
This is my tape, man.
Hey, man.
This is my thing.
You gotta get as hard as questions, man. Got this
Question
beat in my head, man. Hey, so after this movie, that guy was approached by, they want me to be an Iron Man, man.
He's the same dude in every song.
Yeah.
Except for that time, remember he was like being interviewed like 2 months ago, and he was like, yeah, he was. I opened the flower of
He
life.
got woke, man. He got woke.
I don't
Hey,
think
we-
you know who he is himself anymore.
He was actually talking some shit though. If you really listen to him, he was talking about like frequencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
Dude, be wild.
There's actually some real thought behind what
there was. It's just
There
the
was, yeah.
wrong
We
time.
don't know nothing about
They
it.
just wanted to know what you thought about Rihanna's cover.
Yeah, he
You
was.
know that
It just didn't come out right. Yeah.
You just found out about it. Right.
yeah.
Right.
Question 3 is, who gave us these lyrics?
Oh.
In a street brawl, I strike men quicker than lightning. You seen what happened in my last fight, friend.
I been
been.
Big L.
Yeah,
Big
there you
L,
go.
rest in peace.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Hey, is there more?
There's
There was
2 more
There was
questions.
more. Come on, we
Yeah.
rolling.
Just victory lap. Just see if
Hey,
we do
they
it.
on the roll, so look at them.
Yeah, we already won.
Are we
Fuck
gonna
it.
have the second person come in and do 5 for 5?
Looks like
Yeah, it could be. Only one person did 5 for 5, like no help.
Oh,
that was
shit.
what?
Well, they don't give us the
Blaze
pressure.
Blaze.
It was John Blaze.
All
who
right,
did that,
let's
yeah.
go. We-
Oh, that makes sense. Hold on to your hats.
All right.
Question 4 is, which groups comprise the Native Tongues collection of artists?
Yeah, come
Wait.
on,
What
y'all
was it? What was the question? I didn't hear the
All
question.
right. So, what groups are in the native tongues?
Oh,
So that
my
was
God. Oh,
Tribe
shit.
Called Quest,
Yeah.
De La Soul,
Uh-huh.
Black Sheep.
Yes. Brand Nubian.
I don't know if Brand was in there.
One more.
I asked that with a question. That was
Another
a question.
group, Moni Love. There's another group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said De La Soul, Tribe
Jungle
Called Quest.
Brothers.
Jungle Brothers.
There we go. And I said that with a definitive inflection. I did not ask that.
And question number 5. In the early 90s, a Harlem-based rap trio by the name of Children of the Corn included members Murder Mace and Killer Cam.
Wow.
known.
He's just asking. He's just asking. He's just asking.
Now respectively known as Mace and Cameron. What is the name of the completed this group?
Herb McGruff. I'm on some murder stuff. And when rock, every verb is rough.
You
passed away?
I think he did.
Oh man,
Good job. That's when
he's on Big L's album. He's on early Cam stuff too.
Yeah.
And I always laughed at his name, Herb McGruff. He's named after the crime dog.
Yeah.
Yo,
Question this morning.
that was stressful.
Question I had, I was like, I ain't gonna ask that. Ain't nobody gonna know that.
That's a good one for the last one because that's actually difficult.
That's like an asshole question, right?
I only do that because I'm like a rap stan, but like I don't know if everybody would know that.
Way too West Coast for that question.
McGruff,
Herb McGruff.
Yeah, man, that was. I didn't know that one either. I didn't know Cameron and Megan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yo, now I remember. That's crazy.
They all had like baldies back in the day when they were in the
and I guess this was his Murder Mace. Everybody talked about when he was so raw.
Yeah, that's when he was raw.
They said he was raw. And
he was dope. I was seeing your record.
Mace used to get him, man.
Yeah,
that's what they say. And they dude with a Funk Master Flex put him in his top 10.
Yeah, that's why. Because back in the day
he was raw.
Yeah, that's
side note, yo. The new Jim Jones album is fire.
Really? Yes.
I was not expecting that. All the way like this,
really,
man. Oh my God. That album is hard.
Wow.
Man.
Cam's on it like 3-4 times too. It's so good.
Yeah.
Was El Capo? I think it's called El Capo. Yeah, so good.
That first one, you know what? On the low, a little bit, he kind of sound like he rapping like my bad. Jim Jones kind of sound like he rapping like Rick Ross a little bit, like in a couple of them joints, man. But it's still hard though. I'm a Jim Jones fan.
I was like, when did this happen? Like, he never was like a bars guy, but like occasionally I was like, wait a minute.
You can tell he actually took his time with that record. It's all together.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man. I ain't heard it yet.
I've always been a Jim Jones fan. Like Dipset's like one of my favorite rap groups of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
on my way to church.
We don't get with Nate with the sit that down. You already know.
What you got for us this week, Nate?
Oh, this one ain't in the news. This one is for grown ass men projecting bitch ass insecurities on to people that they are not diligently trying to know.
Wow. Yeah.
But assuming that they know everything in the world about this person, if you're not trying to have a conversation with this person and get to know them, nothing like that. You're not being diligent and trying to know them, but you're just projecting, insecurities that's lame as fuck. You can sit the F down. That's it.
Oh my!
I don't know who inspired that.
Tell him why you
I don't know who inspired that, but preach.
Wow.
There's a lot of that goings on.
He just got out of FB jail, y'all. So go ahead.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Damn, they always getting you.
That's what the aggression.
All right, we're gonna get into some headline stories real quick. We'll try to run it real quick for y'all. I know y'all getting ready to get out of here and everything. We had a teen charged with a hate crime for listing his black classmate on Craigslist as a slave for sale.
Man, that was crazy.
Wait, what?
A
teen charged with hate crime for listing his
cool.
black
You don't even have to beat him
on
up.
Craigslist as slave for sale. I guess they were friends and they got an argument, and then he got mad. Took a picture of him.
It bees like that, I guess. That's
a new level of like petty of cyberbullying.
Yeah, that's petty. That's disgusting.
So he got charged with a hate crime.
Yeah,
so like, he's
that's cool.
Do like jail time.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Cool. Don't be a hateful piece of shit.
Don't be an idiot.
Well,
don't be an idiot.
Cool.
We have fully rap ARAB was convicted of turning his record label into a drug trafficking operation.
First of all, this was not news. If you were anywhere near Philadelphia or you listened to his music at all, like ARAB was always the guy. You know what I mean?
But ain't that backwards though? Like, how do you go from being an artist to?
Well, a lot of these artists.
I think he was doing both at the same time.
Yeah. No, the thing is, people have been doing it. They keep. A lot of people don't understand sometimes when it comes to like dudes that are really from the streets. They don't really leave the streets alone.
Right.
Per se. They just find different ways to funnel the money. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what?
Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
I remember like,
and this shit is inherently street as fuck.
I remember years ago, like I'm a fan of his and everything. But years ago, he just he talked too much, man.
Right.
He talk too much.
I mean, but everybody, look, you could go on Snapchat and see somebody flashing some shit that definitely ain't registered to them. It's been passed around more than 25 times.
Folks,
Stay off Vlad. Vlad is the feds. Stay off Vlad.
There's a trail.
Stay the fuck off
from Vlad to the feds.
Right.
Like,
didn't the judge congratulate Vlad's? That was fake. Yeah. But it's not fake to me because that's what happens when you go on Vlad. Stay the fuck off Vlad. Yeah. You know, niggas want to live forever and, you know, have the hood mythos.
Is coming.
What? Niggas want hood mythos and shit like that.
Right.
It's better through word of mouth than fucking a YouTube link. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely wish we would stop.
Can't be talking, man. That's not cool.
We had a man started shooting up a strip club parking lot after his debit card was declined. Yeah.
That nigga was like, yo. He was just like, I'm trying to get these damn 2-for-1 drinks and 2-for-1 dances. Y'all fucking my shit up.
Oh, man. So, yeah.
It's somebody he wanted to
sorry,
dance.
sir. We can no longer provide you your dance.
He's like, nah, fam. Bring them cheeks over here. I'm gonna fuck them out there. And he tried to do a tip. He tried to do a tip drill. The shit with Nelly.
And it was declined.
This shit got declined.
Sir, your tip drill was declined.
Her ass cheek said, please see cashier.
Got clouded.
She's like, I'm sorry.
Two more stories right here. A 5-year-old brings cocaine that makes him feel like Spider-Man to school.
Wait, what?
Start over.
A 5-year-old brings cocaine that makes him feel like Spider-Man to school.
Oh, that's not funny.
So they end up going back to the house. They end up finding 38 bags of cocaine and 170 bags of heroin stamped with Spider-Man found in the home. The father was arrested.
Stay off Vlad.
Hold on. Dude had the shit bagged up in Spider-Man bags?
Yeah, Spider-Man bags.
Oh,
this is the worst drug dealer ever.
He's
like, man, this shit gonna make me Spider-Man.
If he said make him Spider-Man, was he doing the coke?
Nah, he probably
he was definitely jumping off the walls.
He probably just saw the picture.
He was definitely jumping off some walls, that's for sure. No lie.
Right.
That dad got to go under the jail. He's like, you got to go under for that.
He got to get super. He does this in like a pack. Just
8 ball come out. 16th.
Last story right here is man posed as a challenge adult to trick babysitters to change his diaper.
That's an ass.
That nigga was like, surprise.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't see these type people on Jerry Springer.
And that was your word on the street news.
Wow.
And we gonna kick it. We gonna kick it to Miss Aisha for something special right here.
Oh. Well, you know, I really don't have a sister social topic this week, but I kind of do.
Tita is here.
She's here, but she's MIA, so she's in the background.
Tita's standing in the background.
What up, Tita?
Tita's here.
Okay, get you on the camera.
There you go. Tita is here.
There she go. But no, something did catch my eye this week. I saw on it was a Facebook post, but it was from the news. They did a thing and posted on YouTube where in Perryville, the Women's Correctional Center, they have a call center where they're allowing the women prisoners to actually go out and work and make phone calls to do business-to-business phone calls to sell technology. And then what they do once they start the sale, and then they'll route the sale out to someone who's not in prison to be able to complete the call for them. And it's given the women a chance to be able to come out of jail and
reintegrate, right?
Yeah, they're reintegrated. They'll be able to have a job. And you know, they had a lady on, and she had been in jail for 5 years. Was recently released in 2016, and now she's a interactive marketing representative for one of the companies that they was working for within the system. Perryville, the Televerde is the name of the call center, is what they do,
right.
And
we actually
they work
know,
with companies like SAP, Honeywell, and Adobe to be able to help these women to come out.
That's dope. Take that momentum and run with it and apply it to your life.
Yeah, we actually know a person that went through that program.
Oh, that's dope.
she's successful now.
Yeah,
dope,
and
so you
to
get
be
it.
able to qualify for the program, the women have to be in minimum security. So they're on their way to being released.
Right.
So they actually have to apply as if they were applying for
when
an
they're at the
actual
halfway
job.
house or whatever. They
Right.
come through. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's
like
cool.
Jody Arias can't do this.
Right. No, she doesn't
Sorry,
qualify.
sorry, Lefty. Sorry,
Decline.
She-
Sorry, Lefty.
You know why stuff like that is dope? Because at the end of the day, prison,
Lefty mad about that.
yeah, he's mad. What prison was designed for was supposed to rehabilitate you, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end, that's what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know what prison does, but that's a good program because, like, I mean, a lot of times when people come out, it's rough coming out of prison. You know what I'm saying? Speaking for myself, I mean, I did a little bit, and it's rough when you get out. There's not a lot of opportunities. When you got that F on your record, you know what I'm saying? It's like that should have hold you down. You know what I'm saying? And programs like that makes our society better because now somebody can go back into society and contribute instead of having to try to other ways to survive. That might put them back in the same position. You know what I'm saying? So the system is rough, man. It's a rough place to be if you get caught up.
I'm with all programs that help anything to keep people from going back to jail.
Definitely.
And we know as a people that's
the retention rate
that hurts us more than other races right now in the country. So I definitely think that's important. And we need to make that larger for everyone because the justice system is garbage.
It's definitely flawed.
Needs to be reworked, remade, and everything needs to be started over.
Yeah, not even just reform, just rebuild that shit from scratch.
Yeah, it's
that story that you just shared right
garbage.
now, that's really positive and akin to things that you hear outside of this country.
Definitely.
And the fact that we're highlighting it right now, it says a lot about the state that the prison system is in right now.
It's horrible. It should be about rehabilitation.
Right.
Plus, that gives you incentive too.
Right, and that's what the Tyraid program is trying to do. They're trying to incentivize the women and give them something to look forward to every day.
Exactly.
They make them badge in and badge out at the end of the day and stuff like that. So even though they're wearing their orange jumpsuits, they still have a feeling of, oh, I got to do my hair this morning and I got to go to work. And I have that sense of I'm not just in prison. I have a job that
accomplishment.
I can go to.
Right. Definitely. That's great.
Most definitely. So we're gonna do the meal of the week.
The meal of the week this week, as you know, everyone can see, is the burritos that are sitting over here on the table.
Oh, y'all got burritos?
It's actually more or less a meal of the week / review because I was lazy this week. I didn't actually cook this week for everyone. So I actually stopped at Salad and Go, and that's who we're going to review, see how their breakfast burritos are. I got their Fiesta burritos.
Oh, I almost sang that song. Fuck that guy.
So,
who was it last week we were singing? Was that Al Rock song? Also got his,
yeah, he's back there singing.
Oh, Markel back there right now?
Yeah,
that's who back
Shout
there.
out to Markel, man. That dude has bars. Hella bars, bro.
He's getting his tune right.
Yeah, he putting in work now.
He's like dangerously silent right now. So you already know that they're out there in Dexter's lab working on some crazy neutron bombs and things like that. So check for Markel. Don't want one time.
So what's inside the salad burrito?
Inside the burritos, it's a Southwest burrito. It's eggs, cheese, potatoes.
Oh, that's a salad. I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm talking about
eggs, cheese, potatoes, and turkey sausage. Turkey sausage and like pepper jack cheese. That's the cheese that they're using for their burritos, and they're on honey wheat tortillas. And we have their house-made salsa.
There you go.
To go with it.
I'm gonna get a hand clap to that right there. Sounds
good, man. Pretty good. We can eat these and tell them how we feel about Salad and Go's burritos.
Yeah, definitely.
Y'all want to try them? They're right there.
Salad and Go, they're pretty cheap.
She gonna get it together, man. She gonna have to heat it up a little bit and
I'm gonna have to get it together.
Cut it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And then
give me a minute and I'll take those and I'll be right back.
Most definitely. I mean, last segment we're gonna get with Dip for his last segment.
All right, for the lean perspective, man, we're just gonna talk about a couple of things that happened over the weekend. A man accused of killing girlfriend's brother in Phoenix. Phoenix have identified a suspect in a shooting that left a teenager dead in Phoenix. According to police, Crispin Acevedo, 20, pushed his 18-year-old girlfriend to the ground and pointed a gun at her during an argument at home near 71st Avenue in Van Buren on November 20th. just before midnight. He choked his girlfriend. Police say he left the house but returned a few hours later and got into an argument with his girlfriend. The woman's brother tried to intervene and stop the argument, and Acevedo shot and killed him. Dude left the house, but he was arrested the next morning. So dude was like an 18-year-old kid, man, who was shot and killed over this argument.
Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's tough, man. But dude, look at this dude, man. His tattoos all on his face and everything, man. I understand he's still a little bit, but he's crazy. He on some crazy stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like he had nothing to lose.
Right, exactly. Right. But student groups claim ASU was allowing racism and anti-Semitism to exist under the freedom of speech that they're using. Leaders from various Arizona State University student organizations, such as Multicultural Solidarity Coalition at ASU, say that the university needs to take their concerns seriously. This comes after groups have been heard by administrators, but claim the administration has failed to act. In reality, what we are doing is reacting to what is happening, says Alexis Sayas, as some racist posters and postings has been happened by some students who's doing some things racist at the campus. Racist incidents happened, and they haven't done anything. So they want to see people do some things. I guess a woman posted a picture of a school's officers depicting a white woman with blackface.
Blackface.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this at ASU. So
yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that from from there. It's crazy how they use the First Amendment in order to hide, veil their racism behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So
they got T-shirts and posters saying Muslims will rape you.
What?
They got a woman on the school offices depicting a white woman with blackface, and they was posting this on one of the school offices. The group said ICE and Border Patrol were represented at a job recruiting fair. So it's a lot of things that's been going on that they want to get looked at.
Man, I used to be up at ASU a lot, and there have been times where I'd walk by some dorms and I'd see like Confederate flags and things like that. Yeah. It's definitely happened more than once.
Colleges are like melting pots for like a
lot of people.
Wild shit.
It's definitely some higher learning shit.
It's like higher learning.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's still going on to this day.
Wow.
Absolutely. If you watch the news, there's always clashes going on between like some right-wing person that comes to the school to speak, and then the left. It's always like that all the time in colleges. You know what I'm saying?
That's terrible, man.
There's certain people that hide behind the First Amendment and the fact that they know that the police are going to protect them.
Right.
Exactly. Because they protect one group and serve the other.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, these groups, man, they trying to fight. They still fighting, man. So hopefully we can get their word out, and that's why I wanted to make sure I put it on here to help them get the word out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely not representing what we need.
Can you say their name one more time for those?
The person who was doing this?
Yeah, the organization that's like getting this information out.
Definitely. We have the Multicultural Solidarity Coalition at ASU. They're the ones that's trying to get the information out.
Right.
And so they have various leaders that's out here trying to get it out there. And so we want to try to make sure we go to their site and help them out.
I'll definitely be doing that once this is done. Because that shit is despicable.
Definitely.
It's so crazy. We think like, oh man, don't worry. The people with all these crazy racist views are old and they're gonna die off.
Yeah.
And it's
post-racial America.
Not really.
No, not at all.
They're young kids.
Yeah.
That are supposed to be like the enlightened ones who should know better.
Right.
But, so
yeah.
It's crazy that like hatred is like it's taught and it's generational.
Yeah.
And it needs to
they in the middle of the week, definitely.
Yeah, man. It's I'm from where I'm from at the crib, they were just having riots at the high school, racism riots.
Race riots. Wow.
Right. Where one of the kids came through with a Confederate flag and some racist stuff painted on the side of his truck.
Wow.
So
in order to agitate people.
Right, agitate people. And so the other kids, the black kids, didn't like it, so they jumped and beat them up.
And then of course they were villainized for doing so.
Right, exactly. They're suspended and kicked out of school, expelled. And the other kid, they haven't really thought what they're gonna do with him yet for what they.
I look at it as like inciting violence,
right? And he's using the free speech.
But you're inciting violence because you're challenging like people who experience generational and like racial like PTSD, like they see this and they associate that with trauma and with everything that we go through as black and brown people in America.
If you're in your 60s,
right,
and you see something like that, what do you think is going to go run through your mind?
Exactly.
You're an older black woman, you're in your 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
That's going to cause some type of PTSD.
Right,
they grew up in a different era than us, where
you know,
really racist.
But if you paint swastikas on, you know, if you paint swastikas near a Jewish community or something like that, it'll make the news. But here it's just like, you know, like on your nightly news or national news, it's like placed towards the back segment or the back of the program and things like that. So I mean, shit, they're probably the ones paying for it. I'm joking. I'm joking. The views and opinions of Roqy.
Try to preach that racism doesn't exist.
Right. That's Candace. That's Candace though. That's her thing. She act like she, but they was Candace Owens, yes, and that they came up with somewhere where she sued someone for racism back in the day, and it was like, no, how are you never seen racism, but you sued someone for racism?
It's like she's so, like, you could tell she's a very educated woman. She's very she's not stupid, but her position, I think it's really twisted. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if she actually believes everything she's saying.
I don't think she believes a word.
Because it's giving her a lot of publicity. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, she's a star.
They putting her on a pedestal.
And you know what I don't like? I think you know, a lot of times when she debates people, they never have her debate somebody who really knows what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And that, if they had her face somebody that really knew what they were talking about, man, they would wipe the floor with her. You know what I'm saying? But they always have her against somebody who's not that educated, you could tell, or isn't really aware of the situation.
When she was on the stage, I think in Atlanta,
it shouldn't have T.I. on there.
With T.I.,
I didn't have T.I. on there.
T.I. He was saying some crazy stuff.
He think he knows something.
What was it, Mike?
She actually made him look like he was stupid. You know what I'm saying? I was like, T.I., why are you even up here, man?
He's not equipped for that.
He's not equipped for that. No.
He shouldn't be.
He thinks.
I don't even think Killer Mike is equipped for that, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Legitimate public speakers.
You do.
And like personalities.
Yeah. What's that girl's name from CNN?
You can't just throw some random ass celebrity up there and expect them to challenge somebody who's basically a master of their domain when it comes to public speaking. These are real orators. Like, they're paid to stand in front of a camera and talk to people.
And she has her talking points down. You know,
of course,
she has her points down perfectly, and she knows what she's talking about on her points.
You get somebody who's like really articulated and stuff, and you place a camera in front of them, and they start fumbling. Like, you know, shit, I don't think I could do it. You sit me like on some panel and you expect me to debate some racist person who spends their time reviewing talking points. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to go to a different level. And if I don't, I might just, you know, because not everybody's equipped. You know, I'm a musician. I rap and perform music on stage. We're not equipped to basically combat politicians. And that's what she is. She's
that's pretty good. Light-skinned black girl. That's who should debate Candace. I forgot her. I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely know. I think she's dating old girl Angela.
Angela
Rye.
Yeah.
Why does the Candace ever debate her? You know what I'm saying? Because that'd be great.
Oh my
That's who they should have had up on the stage with.
Angela would tear her apart. That's why she would tear her apart. She's not trying to deal with that.
She probably wouldn't have done it. Candace wouldn't.
Right. She wouldn't have dealt with that.
You know,
and she's very intellectual, very good at debating. You know what I'm saying? I like to watch her. She attacks.
Anna Navarro.
Right. She's a watchdog. Yeah, I like Anna Navarro also, and she's a Republican. So you know what I'm saying? Her viewpoints are
definitely
right.
They're intelligent.
It's just not as democratic. It's just that she's making intelligent viewpoints. You know what I mean? It don't have to be
know when people fucking up
right. Exactly. She can call a person out regardless what side they're on. If you're making bad decisions, she will call you out. I like that. Right. So that's the lean perspective for this week.
Right.
And we
I appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Yeah,
most definitely.
I didn't know I was gonna get the whole writer's guilt. You know what I mean?
It's a rarity. It's a rarity that we all.
Yes. Whenever we in town together, we roll together. That's how it goes.
Most definitely.
What y'all think about the raps, man?
I thought it was fire.
Hey, this is good.
It was very good.
And go.
Yeah, very good.
I'm gonna shout out them for this is house-made salsa.
Yeah,
it's legit.
Yeah, it's good.
That's some good salsa, man.
There you go.
I've only been there for salad, but now I might have to mess with
get that
burrito.
burrito. I'm about to go right now.
Man. Yeah, they only do them like that for Saturdays and Sundays. 8 to noon.
Oh, that's good time. That's good time.
And then Monday through Friday, it's 6:30 to
Yeah, so you heard that, man. Check out Salad and Go. Check out
Go.
burritos. Salad and Go, we need that sponsor.
Yeah, if you want, hit up DanYo&Tita podcast for the sponsor.
Y'all want to give us some free ones? We'll take them.
Most def.
Hell yeah.
Then you watch, tell us the project, man.
Apex Predator, currently available in all music platforms. Go get that. Spotify, Tidal, iTunes, all that. Like I said, the special editions on Bandcamp. So if you support your indie artists, go to Bandcamp and cop it. It's called Apex Predator. You can get at me at all my my social medias at Penny the Great. The word "thus" is spelled T-H-E. I'm sorry, T-H-A, not T-H-E. So it's Penny the Great. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. You know what I'm saying? You'll get my album on there as well.
Damn.
More than likely, my link is in the bio for all my social media. So cop that. You know what I'm saying?
Cop it,
So I do have one question. Since you fellas answered all the questions right today, y'all got 5 for 5 because the answer to the 5th question was Big L. So what charity are we donating $50 to?
Yeah, I'm gonna donate.
Can we do this? And like, so we normally say like various charities, but if y'all can find a way to take that $50, turn it into food, go downtown and give it to people individually,
That's what
or
we
you
do.
can give it to us and one of us will do it.
Right. Okay.
That shit is true.
We'll
We'll give it directly to the people, cut out the middleman.
We'll probably go out there one day and videotape it. And,
Definitely will.
Do a food drive.
Yeah, we'll do a fall drive or
Cool,
something.
cool.
Shout out to Ramses Jow does the hashtag.
Oh yeah, hashtag lunch bag.
We could
Yeah,
donate it to that. That'd be dope.
We can do that too.
Anyway.
yeah, just as good.
Raises funds every weekend for it. So hit up his Facebook socials.
We'll get with you on that for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Shout out Ramses Jow for that, man.
What's
Yeah,
up?
this is the man.
Roqy Tyraid, man. What you got going?
Yes. My project Outbreak with DJ Green Lantern, that is out. Make sure y'all go get that. Various visuals are out there. Just make sure you spread the word. Add it to your playlist on Spotify and Apple. I can't stress that anymore. Of course, my name is Roqy Tyraid, ROQYTYRAID. You can go to theculturesback.com. If you want PlayStation Live, hit up your boy. I'm currently on that Battlefield 5.
Get on that.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Make sure you get that Outbreak and we'll be on the road soon.
Classic.
So more.
Classic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dope shit.
Man. Don't battle that, man. That's
Right.
Mega Ran.
Yo. So Ages is out now, wherever you get your music, Bandcamp, Tidal, Spotify, all that. You know, download it, stream it. Let your computer run overnight and play it. You know, get your them stream.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta hack the system any way you can. But they will. So starting a tour day after Thanksgiving. Starting on the East Coast with Mickey Fax, Alfred Banks.
I saw him on there earlier, man. Hey, shit's
But I should have thought about it. It's called a fam tour because it's Fax, Alfred, and Mega. So, but dang, that would have been a great idea. But it literally starts on Black Friday in Boston, and we go down to Florida, and then end in New Orleans. But new records in the works, of course, with these brothers. Touring hopefully with these brothers. Hey, me on the Twitter or Instagram at Mega Ran.
Most definitely.
Shit, man.
We're gonna end the show. We're trying to get Tita out of her shell, y'all.
Yeah.
Yo,
So
what?
She always is quiet. She don't
So
talk
really,
at
let me
all.
tell you something.
When she do the food reviews,
Yeah, when we do
the food reviews,
Yeah.
you're like a bundle of
She is
energy.
pumped.
Let me tell you what it is.
So you got to put food
nobody-
reviews
when we do
into the podcast.
When we
what
do
I
the
was trying
food
to tell
reviews, nobody's watching, which is
Mhm.
recorded.
yeah.
So now that when she's doing the
when it's
podcast,
live, it's a
people
little
watching her.
live.
Yeah. Since we got
I'm not
that-
great on camera if I'm not rapping. I'm like dead center. I'm like, what the fuck do I do when I'm not talking?
So since that, I'm forcing her to do something, get her out of her shell. So Tita in the show with the quote of the day, and then we're in the show right there.
So quote of the day is, don't show your goals, show your results.
There you go.
There you go.
Hey, that's actually
Y'all heard it.
Yeah. Don't show your so stop with the old big announcement
Right.
tomorrow for the announcement
2020
tomorrow.
Is mine, 2020 is mine.
2020 is mine. AG after gentrification.
Just do it.
2020.
Just do it. Just
Most
not.
definitely.
Just not.
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast.
We out.
Old New York.
appreciate y'all coming, fellas.
Thank y'all for having us, man.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Good shit, man.
This is like the best show ever. Double.
Yeah, man.
Anytime. Hey, I got